We've all heard the phrase before, everything's bigger in Texas. The land, the hospitality, and of course the whitetails. In this episode, we explore the great hunting opportunities and the rich history that go along with the Lone Star State. I'm Brittany Jill, and this is Destination Whitetail.
Welcome to Texas.
Come on, guy. He's down right there. He's down. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. We just smoked a very wide North Texas buck with the TC. Oh my gosh. Holy cow.
For Dan Schmidt, Texas represents some of the best whitetail hunting, period.
Man. Got him. Right there, got him. He's dead. We did it.
Good job.
Thank you, Ben.
Yeah, great shooting. Good job.
Oh, man.
Today on Destination Whitetail, we're going to back up these scenarios and look at how these ranches get to the point of offering up these trophy whitetails to their clients. We'll see how much effort it takes to actively manage the whitetail herd on these immense properties. And we'll pull back the veil on some of the assumptions hunters make about the hunting opportunities in the Lone Star State. The Vaudeville Outdoors Ranch is nestled between Sonora and El Dorado, just outside the Texas Hill Country. For Billy Bob Galbraith, managing this wildlife is largely a numbers game.
What we try to do, we deal with the Texas Parks and Wildlife Association here in the state of Texas. We do aerial surveys, we do spotlight surveys, and we do field observation work.
Aerial surveillance, as you might guess, plays a big role in compiling these numbers.
So once we get some numbers in late July, early August, we turn them into the Texas Parks and Wildlife. They give us numbers back of what we need to harvest from the doe end of things and from the buck side of things. Age structure, you know, what we need to concentrate on. We may be heavy on one age and we may need to concentrate on taking out some of those. It's really, they guide us. They give us a lot of guidance in what we do out here.
So what does this allow? It allows you to see deer in their native habitat, but it allows you to see unpressured deer. These deer do not get a lot of pressure. So you're seeing activity during daylight hours that most people only see on their trail cameras at night. So we got to see rubbing, scraping, fighting, sparring, mutual grooming behavior. This is some stuff that you never get to see in the wild, and on free range property with unpressured deer, it's a real treat. We're here for a managed hunt. We want to look for mature bucks that are at least 4 years old, preferably 5 years old or older. And these deer are ones they want to take out that aren't exhibiting the trophy, so to speak, potential.
For hunters like Dan Schmidt, Texas also offers the unique chance to observe deer that are advanced in age.
Now, when I'm talking about older age classes, we're talking 5, 6, 7, even 10-year-old deer. You just don't see that in other parts of the country. You don't see that in the Midwest. In the Midwest, a mature buck is 4 years old, and most times that's as good as you're going to get. Down here, you know, we're talking mature bucks, probably older than 5. According to scientific research, a buck does not exhibit his true maturity until he's 5.5 years old. So when you're looking at these deer and you can definitely tell that they're 5 years old, 6 years old, now you know what he's going to manifest for antlers. If he's only an 8-pointer, he's only going to be an 8-pointer for the rest of his life.
What I try to do is I prioritize my animals, bucks and does. If I have an inferior buck, then I have 4 inferior bucks at this pen. So I pick the worst one at that time to take him. Or if I have some does there and I may have 3 does that are barren, don't have babies, I may pick the oldest doe in that group. And if I've got quite a few older ones, I may pick the youngest one in that group. Just depends on the setting that I go to that day and what presents itself at the pen.
Coming up on Destination Whitetail, Billy Bob takes us through his feed supplements and hunting strategies, and Dan shares his appreciation of hunting the Lone Star State.
You know, Texas gets a bad rap. People think of Texas, especially if they've never hunted it, they think high fences and baiting. Well, there are high fences in Texas, and there is baiting in Texas, and you're going to be hunting over food. But don't knock it until you try it, especially when you're hunting free-range deer.
Destination Whitetail is brought to you by Browning Trail Cameras, by Thompson Center, America's master gunmaker, by Analogics, protect your herd with the power of science, by Sever Broadheads, straight through it, Alps Outdoors, exceed your expectations, and by Hornady, accurate, deadly, dependable. Welcome back to Destination Whitetail, where we're exploring the wide open ranches of Texas.
The place where we're hunting, I mean, these guys have become my friends. I've hunted here before, and the working managers of this ranch, Billy Bob Galbraith and Ben Lawrence, they're not only hunting guys, these guys are working, real class working biologists, so they know deer.
A big part of knowing these deer is understanding their nutritional needs.
Our supplemental feed program is we feed 20% protein starting in January to push the deer through the spring, and then we kind of pull it back to 16% protein in the summer months. We do feed them some corn. We don't feed the corn out here until usually starting mid-August, latter part of August, and then as we're funneling down with our protein, we push the corn in so we come into the hunting season so we can attract them with the corn, of course, and then at that time we quit using the protein.
When it comes to hunting here, you'll see plenty of deer, but don't be fooled. This is no slam dunk.
You know, Texas gets a bad rap. People think of Texas, especially if they've never hunted it, they think high fences and baiting. Well, there are high fences in Texas, and there is baiting in Texas, and you're going to be hunting over food. But don't knock it until you try it, especially when you're hunting free-range deer. You know, whoever said God bless Texas, they sure know what they were talking about. I've been down to South Texas many times, and I'm always taken in by the beauty. It's just a beautiful place on earth, and it's a wonderful place to hunt whitetails.
We have 22 hunting locations. We don't hunt any one of them hard. We may hunt one this week, and we may hunt a totally different side of the ranch next week. The main thing we look for is we want the deer to be mature. I mean, we want them to have the age for sure, and the horn quality is important to us too. If we've got young bucks, we try to keep some of the younger bucks on the ranch. You know, if they're 3.5 or less and they've got multi-time 10-point bucks. When we don't have hunters and I'm doing the hunting, then I look for anything that I do not want breeding come rut season. You know, like a 6-point with no brow tine, something like that. So that's what I really concentrate on as a wildlife manager out here.
And it's different here because I'm helping them manage the herd. This isn't just me coming down and shooting a deer. We're actually trying to help them accomplish their management goals. So you really got to be, you know, a little bit more prudent in what you're looking at and what you're going to shoot. There's rubs everywhere in there. These deer are really starting to hammer it. Here he comes up. He's going to come to the feed area, checking around. There's some does in front of him. Not quite ready for that yet. And, you know, we had to watch him for a while. Wanted to make sure he was mature. Took us a while to figure that out. He's gray. You can't really go by color on deer. Yeah, they say gray deer. Nah, don't believe that. It's not because they're gray that they're old. It's their body characteristics in Texas. We studied him. All the characteristics of a nice, mature buck, at least 5 years old. An 8-pointer, he had a busted off brow tine. We saw that right away. Perfect deer to take for management's sake. Now it's just a matter of waiting for the shot. Ma'am. Got him. Right there, got him. He's down right there.
Great shot.
He's down, hold on a second, hold on. He's down, yes. Yes, all right.
Shot, bud.
Oh.
Fantastic. We had just a small window. You punched his ticket.
This is the part that's the best, Ben. It's coming out of the blind and knowing we have a deer on the ground.
I don't think he's all the way rubbed out yet.
No, look at this. He's got little pieces of velvet still. And here we are, it's end of October. He's got a ripped deer from fighting.
He sure does.
Yeah.
Busted brow tine.
Yeah, he's a stud though, man.
I'm telling you, look at the mass all the way through the main beam. Tine.
Yeah, look
fantastic.
at this, it's like almost palmated.
Yeah,
here.
it is.
Awesome
the main
deer.
beam's almost palmated right here.
Yeah,
That's
right here.
fantastic.
Awesome deer.
Man,
Thank you
what a
very
great
much.
animal. Good
Thank
job,
you.
bud.
Thank you.
When we come back, we visit the Patterson Ranch to see how they bring their deer to trophy size and age.
Pretty much our long-term management goal is to, take our deer to the farthest level that we can in a low-fenced ranch.
You're watching Destination Whitetail. Just north of Abilene, Texas, you'll find an 18,000-acre oasis known as the Patterson Ranch. While it has a rich history, the ranch didn't hold whitetails until 2 decades ago.
First deer I saw on this ranch was probably, I was 24 years old. And then we had quail. And we leased quail hunting out to, by the acre, to several different groups.
And started offering up hunts 10 years ago under the guidance of wildlife manager John Heaton.
There's Granddaddy 8, yeah. That's probably the widest 8.
He's got that little nump on his tooth there.
Yep.
Having trail cam pics going back over 8 years, he's able to track animals precisely.
Pretty much our long-term management goal is to, take our deer to the farthest level that we can in a low-fenced ranch. You have to create cores, you have to create perimeters, and it makes it a really difficult thing. But since I started the management program, feeding them protein, corn, having food plots, I noticed 10 years ago, we did the weights of every animal that came in, live weight. And over the years, we kind of studied it. And since we did that, they're way healthier animals.
It gets end of the season and you think, man, I don't have much food left in my food plot. It's all weeds, deer have eaten everything. This is a turnip plot. It's a very good example of it's not all weeds. The deer do browse this down a lot, but here, we can find the turnip. That's the leaf. And well, they ate it all off. Well, not exactly. Loosen that up a little bit. Look at that. That is white gold for a whitetail. And they will eat that all the way, as long as they can get to the ground, they will pull those out. That's great nutrition, great protein, good food source for deer late in the season.
During droughts and snow and, hard rains and winds and all the natural things that can happen, these animals are surviving through it and they're still fat.
I'll watch deer, especially like winter or in February. And if you have turnips or beets, you might think the food plot's dead. It's not. This is proof right here. That buck, there's a protein feeder out there, but he wants the turnips instead. That's a really good food source for winter. It never gets old. It never gets old. It's cold. It's cold this morning. We're trying to make some venison here. I got the TC. I love muzzleloader hunting. It's just really cool. I love it. We had a nice big doe come out. She saw us, but I got on her. I think I made a really good shot. We're gonna give her a little bit of time. But I think we have some fresh venison this morning, yes.
Oh, nice doe. Hey, I hit right where I was aiming too. Look at that. Oh, that's a dandy. That's a beautiful doe. Look at that. Hornady bullet. Now I aimed right for the scapula and I just missed her. But that's double long. Yes.
Dan's hunt continues when we return. Plus, we visit some historic sites found right here on the Patterson Ranch.
There's an old cemetery here in the back. If you want to go check that out.
Destination Whitetail is brought to you by Decked. Work smarter, play harder. Scent Killer Gold with Hunt Dry Plus technology. Apply it, dry it, and go hunt. By 10-Point Crossbow Technologies, there is no substitute. Get armed and deadly with Easton FMJ arrows. By Sig Sauer Electro Optics, never settle. And by Matthews Archery.
The Eliminator 3 laser scope from Burris is an innovative and effective hunting rifle scope, combining outstanding optics, laser range finding, and trajectory compensation for the exact ammunition you choose to hunt with.
Welcome back to the Lone Star State, which is cattle country, obviously, and more recently, deer country.
Ranching and deer hunting, they go hand in hand. So one of our biggest challenges out here is drought. It's surviving a drought. You know, we lose a huge chunk of our deer herd. They have to sell off cattle, and however many head per acre goes way lower.
Luckily, we're here on a year that has had ample rain.
Years like this, when we get a lot of rain, 3 times more than normal, we really hit the food plots hard. We cultivate hard and take advantage of it, because you never know when we might get 2 years of drought. So when you get this kind of rain, you got to really hit your food plots hard. You got to do more than you would normally do.
For his part, Dan Schmidt is here to help their management by thinning out an older cull buck. The cull bucks Dan is after are trophies in most areas.
Come on, guy. He's down right there. He's down. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. We just smoked a very wide North Texas buck with the TC. Oh my gosh. Holy cow. Wow. He is wide. He's gotta be 20 inches wide. He is a dandy. But that is a specific buck that we came in here to hunt. I mean, I'm 40 yards away and I can see his antlers sticking up. Holy cow. That SST Hornady bullet really did it to him. Oh my gosh, is he nice. Look at that. What a dandy. That's one of the widest bucks I've ever shot. He's just a beautiful North Texas wide buck.
Like so many ranches here, Patterson has a rich history.
In 1887, Stonewall County was formed. This ranch, my great-grandfather ranch, is the first ranch that was settled in the county.
Yeah, this is the old Jayton Schoolhouse. It was built, you know, probably pre-1900s. It's been here for forever, and it got abandoned. They built a new school. But this was kindergarten through 12th grade in this one little building. Like right here is the schoolhouse water supply. They run it down off the roof. That goes into there, and then that's how they get their water.
This ranch is also home to, believe it or not, an old cemetery.
5-year-old little girl.
Yeah, this one's not even a year old yet.
Not even a year old on that one. Patterson, I didn't even know they were buried out here. They died 1 year apart.
One of the buildings even houses an old foundry where they forged all their metal parts.
He melted all the metal and hand forged all the hinges, gate hinges, hardware, everything like that. The brands for their cattle and everything, they're all hand forged. They did everything. There was no Walmart.
One thing all these ranches have in common is their hospitality. You'll be spoiled by authentic camp cooks who actually cook over mesquite fires and treat you like one of the family.
After all the hard knocks that I've confessed, I'm back to the basics with a lot less stress. I've decided to live life one day at a time and work on my dreams. Heck, that's no crime. I've lived life hard and fast, but I'm still here to tell these stories to y'all hunters so dear. With this in mind, there's only one thing left to say. Just keep living and loving and working for an honest day's pay, okay?
This is Destination Whitetail.